Hello and welcome to Let's Try We're Trying Monster Loves You Too. Now, a little bit of a preamble here. I recently covered Million Monster Militia twice, and the second time I was able to hang out with the community manager Ezra, who was able to hook me up with this. This is another game published by Digiban. Listen, I'm very professional. Hold on, I'm very professional. Dejaban, I got it right. Yo. Anyway, this is a sequel, although I think it's a spiritual remake in many ways, to a game called Monster Loves You. It is a visual novel, which is not a game I have covered a lot of, but I am anything if not, well, I have taste. Listen, I like a huge variety of different games, and I have been known to play a visual novel in the past. I definitely play them less often, but this is one that really appeals to me. I've always meant to play Monster Loves You, and I was very happy to be hooked up with a key for this. Anyway, preamble over. That was a lot. Sorry. We're going to play this. I'm playing it blind. This is a game where you make a monster and basically kind of cultivate it. And let me just start by saying I love, like, a lot the art style. It's I don't know where to put it. It's just got this kind of like goblin-esque kobold thing going on. It definitely feels grungy in like the most charming way possible. So I'm excited about that. Let's you are born. Okay. In a great vat of syrupy foulness, something amazing happens. A clump of slime congeals into a body, an eye forms, then a mouth. It's you. You are a morsel that might grow to be a monster, drifting within a sea of green slime. Float here and filter the slime for a while. Yeah. You rest and grow while you can. Hey, your second eye popped out. Oh, thank goodness. Let me turn up the sound just a little bit. Fiber, I missed something. Oh, I'm sorry. I see I have a brain now. Okay. Fibers of consciousness weave through your blobby body and knit together. You gain 1 point of brains. What are brains? Monsters naturally make impulsive decisions, and expending your brain's resource helps you avoid acting entirely on instinct. I see. So we're doing what was that? Was it the Fate or the there was a specific playthrough of Baldur's Gate. We're just like stuck in that mode where everything is bad all of the time. But wait, it's not just your mind that's expanding. It's not? Oh, I gained the flesh. Flesh is weak. Become machine. Your body feels more solid. You gain 1 flesh. What is flesh? Flesh is your health. You can expend it willingly to go beyond your normal physical abilities. You also lose flesh if you are injured. This leads you to the final thing. Ooh, I got some guts. A flame of emotional energy kindles inside of you. You gain 1 guts. What are guts? Monsters are naturally loud and brash, but they're paradoxically also afraid of pain and shame. Expending guts allows you to overcome your fear, to take a chance and assert yourself. A toothy maw appears from above. A larger morsel grins at you hungrily. You're starting to panic. Panic! Ah, good idea. That's how that works. Here's how that works. It's going to eat you. This is where your brain's reserve is useful. Different actions have different costs. Some choices are more useful than others. Brains, tamp that panic down and dodge purposely. Repress my fear and engage it in meaningful discourse. I love that. Panic and flit around at random. Yes. You dart this way and that without reason. Your purser takes a quick nip out of you before backing off. Ow! You've lost a point of flesh. The surging slime washes the hunting morsel far away. This is like a text adventure version of the first act of Spore. Engage a toothy maw in meaningful discourse. I didn't do that. I just got an achievement for it. You make your escape and enter a swarm of morsels like yourself. A few of the morsels are smaller than you. Your instinct speaks to you. What does it say? You could devour them all and regain some of your reserves. You are absolutely ravenous. Eat one of the weakest ones that probably won't survive anyway. Yeah, let's do that. Chomp, you bite the morsel and swallow it. You're still hungry. That morsel wasn't enough to fill your belly, but the others have fled. Sometimes it's best to go all the way, not to take half measures. Okay, Walter. We're gonna make a monster. Oh, God. Alright, suddenly an arm sprouts from your gelatinous body. You feel changes happening inside you as well. No, I'm not done being a morsel. Stay that way. I feel like I just want to make all of the wrong decisions right away just to see what happens. You concentrate as hard as you can. This is like when Bulbasaur insisted on not evolving. That episode is more than 20 years old now. Don't you feel old? And the rest of you young. Good for you. Hope you feel old and young. Your body writhes in the bubbling slime, twisting this way and that. No, you just can't stop it. Your body thinks it's time to grow up a little. Sometimes you can spend a resource like brains and get nothing out of it. I am making all of the bad decisions. The changes hurt, but they're also interesting. And such is life, you know? If you can muster the concentration to pay attention to the pain, you might learn something from it. Well, no, I can't, because I'm not a good monster, and I've spent all my resources being small and weak. No, just drown the pain out by eating everyone. You lash out, feasting on the smaller morsels that are too slow to swim away. The meal replenishes your body a bit, but that is all. Some of your choices will lead to self-improvement. Your experiences will make you smarter or braver or tougher. The gills you've been breathing through are closing up. Your new form is beginning to suffocate in the slime. So we've gained extra brains, flesh and guts, max. Abruptly, oh wait, did I just make a decision? No, I didn't. Okay, I did gain all of those. Abruptly, you form a second arm and a pair of legs, as if to help with that. Force myself back under the surface to hunt. Yeah, alright. You overcome your instinct to surface. You weather the suffocation, costing you flesh. The food you gather replenishes you somewhat. Panic forces you to the surface of the vat. Gasp. Your new lungs thirst for air. I'm resisting every turn and corner of this game for fun. It's good. Reaching the vat's green surface reveals an incredible world surrounding it. We're gonna do a vat of slime. Vat of slime, Morty. You're not quite done changing. Parts of you are still turning inside out. And outside in, rest. Resting allows you to regain some brains. You hear sounds from outside and recognize them somehow as scrabbling claws. Something is climbing the outer wall of the vat. It's a monster. There's skin and bones, but they're still much bigger than you. You feel an overwhelming urge to panic. So what do you do? Scream and scream and scream some more. Yeah. You scream and flail around in the liquid. The other monster darts along the lip of the vat to intercept you. I'm Ruck. I'm here to help. Here. Eat this to grow stronger. The thin monsterling tosses a goblet of congealed slime at you. But do you trust them? Catch it in my mouth. Tastes like slime, but thicker and denser than the stuff in the vat. It's just what your changing body needs. Your legs sprout feet, and your hide grows more solid. You're becoming a very large monster. Your maximum guts, flesh, and brains increase. Rek reaches down with one paw and pulls you out of the vat. Let Ruck help me. It hurts. Your new-formed limbs fold under you as you smack into the rocky ground. A scream forms within you. Give a howl. Let it out. Scream in pain. Ah! 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 You feel better. Welcome to Ash, new monsterling. Ruck spreads their arms wide, taking in the vast cavern all around you. Your stomach growls with hunger. You hear a morsel splash in the vat. The memory... Whoops, I didn't mean to skip that. No, don't scoop the monster. A morsel's out. You're big now. It's not fair. Fights should always be fair. Ask them why. Without fairness, we would all hurt each other all the time. Without fairness, I wouldn't give you food when you need it. Without fairness, I could just eat you, since I'm bigger. Come meet Ut. He is my good friend. Ut will help you. When the monsters are more fair than than real life, you know we've lost, right? We've lost it. Unless he kills you and dumps you back into the vat. But he won't do that to you. You're smart, like Uck. Like Ut. Ask what makes Ut so smart. You ask tough questions. I knew you were smart. Ut's smart's because he's older than me. Ut keeps newborns safe from bigger monsters. Ut is wise. There is a place the newborns are taken. Sometimes it's scary and terrible. Ut protects us from the coop and the elder who keeps it. Ut has me feed new monsterlings. Then I teach them to fight. They tremble with anticipation. Careful, it's dangerous here in the sharps. Find a hiding place. I'll bring more food. Ruck jumps and scrambles up a pile of rocks. You somehow recognize the shapes. Bricks, tires, and concentrate all dot the whoops, is there something missing here? All concentrate all dot the area. Oh, sorry, concrete. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Concrete all dot the area as far as you can see. Rock formations stick up among them, taller and thinner than the piles of rubble. They look sharp. Okay, so we have exactly one option. We've come from this vat of goop. Follow Ruck into the rubble maze. Docility. You creep up to the heap of bricks and stones and tires. You don't have to go far to catch up with Ruck. Complain that Ruck is going too fast. Keep it to myself. Ruck scrambles out of sight, but you soon catch up to the other monsterling at a dip in the surrounding ruins. Small, close-set eyes blink at Ruck from within a pile of rubble. You found another. I did, Master Ut. Ruck hops up and down, dancing with joy. So strange. There was another newborn yesterday. I did good finding another, right? Master Ut will give us food? The vat takes more than one day to make a monsterling. Are you lying to your master? You're still hidden, but you could swear Ut is looking in your direction. Come out and stick up for Ruck. Ruck laughs as you come into view. You're brave, I like that. I love the style of this whole thing. Ut speaks loudly. He's staring right at you. Come, little one, and bow before me. There are dangers all around this place. Bow and I will feed you and protect you. Okay. Well, I could spend some guts to resist submission. But sure, I'll bow to Ut for now. Docility, +1. That doesn't sound like a good thing. You give in to your natural instincts. It costs you nothing, but you've gained a bit of docility. Ut's voice takes on a majestic tone, rich with his guts. Now let's see how pliable you are. Ooh, gross. Ut draws close. Ahem, bow to me. Stare Ut down. Steadfast. You stand your ground and stare. Ut blinks in confusion for a moment, but does nothing. By choosing to be brave, you've avoided increasing your docility. Monsters naturally defer to larger, stronger, and older monsters. You can usually resist using your guts, but if your docility is too high, you won't always get the chance. Ut rolls 2 gobbets of slime out of the rubble heap. I don't have to give you this, you know. I do it because I am generous. Refuse the delicious treat on principle. Well, that's no good. I don't know if I guess I don't have a choice, but I'm going to be increasing my docility. Not bad. Your flesh and guts replenish slightly. Ruck shifts from one foot to another, staring at the remaining food. Not now, Ruck. You can eat later. This all around us is called the Sharps. Keep my sass to myself. You pay attention to Ut's explanation. To one side, Ruck also listens with great interest. There are gangs here. They're adolescents, older and bigger than us. If they find you, they will eat you. But there's something worse. There's a place called the Coop, where the elder called Atrisil keeps all the monsterlings she can catch. This all sparks a memory. Morsels, monsterlings, adolescents, elders, and adults. Ask Ut for more information about the world. Ut seems pleased with your question. Beware adults. They usually stay in the main city of Ash. But if you run into one, you probably won't be able to escape. Adults are big and fast and hungry. A Tristle is even worse. She's an elder, older, bigger, and much, much meaner. A Tristle takes monsterlings to her coop because their screams give her great pleasure. When she's done with them, she sells them to adults and elders. But here in the Sharps, if you survive to adolescence, you might be able to join a gang. The gangs only accept monsterlings like us as snacks. You don't have to worry about all that. I'll protect and feed you. I'll be your friend as well as your master. Master is a great friend. Can I have more food now? No food now, Ruck. We must keep you in fighting trim. You're a great friend, Master Ut. Okay, so I now have a choice: Thorn Wire Jumble or Buy the Vat. Let's go to Thorn Wire Jumble. Explore the tangled coils of wire. Malice. Trash. Stray trash blows among the chunks of concrete and asphalt in this area. Pick through the trash for something to eat. I don't think I need it, actually. You don't find so much as a scrap of food, just grade dust. You walk past a lump of wet sand shaped a little like a monsterling. Linger and look more closely. You can see claw marks here and there on the packed wet sand. Someone made this. There's a sound somewhere nearby. Is that someone watching you right now? The jagged coils of spiked metal wire ahead look nasty. If you can get underneath them, it might be a safe place to rest, though you're also a bit peckish. Yeah, we could use some brain and guts, so let's take a rest. Alright, we're full up on everything. You hunker down behind cover and take a good long nap. You hear a faint squeal from the far end of the wiry jumble. Following the sound, you find a mangled monsterling. He's tangled in the wires and too weak to free himself. Hiding from bigger monster. Ate my arm, they said, then said sorry, like that helps. He looks so helpless, so pathetic. Something monstrous awakens inside of you. As a monster, you're naturally inclined towards acts of malice. In this situation, spending brains can overcome your malicious instincts, but it's so tempting. Taunt him. Okay. Oh, I see, we can give in and then we'll gain malice. Poke him in the eye. Oh my god. Alright, don't taunt him. Spend some brains. Listen, maybe being a weak monster means being a kind monster, but I think I'd rather be a kind monster than a cruel one. You concentrate and resist the temptation to hurt the stranger. He's still caught in the wires. The new monsterling looks so soft and weak. Your hunger rises up within you. It would be so easy to devour him. We're spending a lot of brains to be kind here. Have a little nibble from his remaining arm. Okay. Oh yes, you feel warmth surge through you. The monsterling looks around and tries to shake himself free of the barbed wire. He only entangles himself further. Help him out of the wire. Alright, we can do that at the very least. You help him out. He looks up at you, cringing. Tell him it's going to be alright. He repays your kindness by biting you and running away. What? Why did he do that? Not all monsters show gratitude. Most monsters are ruled by their flaws. Because you help someone with nothing obvious to gain from it, your malice is reduced. When you give in to your monstrous instincts, you may gain malice. If you are kind, you will reduce your malice. If your malice is high, you will sometimes be forced to obey your monstrous instincts and hurt others. Some time passes. The wind blows more bits of trash among the spiky wires. Ruck finds you. Master Ut gave me more food for you. Ruck offers you a ball of slime. You can hear their belly growl as they look at it longingly. Well, I'm all full up, so I'll give it to Ruck. Ruck laps it up greedily and looks a bit better. The food's not for me. Fighting trim, Ut says. The other monsterling smiles gratefully. The kind deed you have performed was made possible because your flaws are low. Ruck wanders back toward Ut's rubble pile, leaving you alone. So I think Personally, I would like to keep my agency high, and keeping my agency high means keeping my flaws low. Visit the vat again. Greed. You look at the wall of the vat. From within you hear delicious little morsels splashing about. An overwhelming urge to feed seizes you. It's an unusual one. I guess this is gonna be greed. Well, let's relax. The emptiness in your belly seems to grow until it's all that remains inside of you. Only one thing will fill it. Devour as many as I possibly can. Okay. You gobble up as many morsels as you can fit in your maw. The poor morsels scream as you chew them up and swallow them. We gain to max everything, but I'm sure our greed will pay the toll. You revel in the slime as your capacity for guts, flesh, and brains increases. You've acted in your own interests, at the expense of others, and gained greed. All monsters are possessed by greed to some extent. You can usually use your brains to resist the compulsions of greed. But if you have too much greed, you won't always be able to try to resist the urges. You slink away before you're caught. Alright, back to the rubble maze. Join Ruck by the rubble pile. Uh-oh. Thud. Thud! Everything shakes. A stone falls from the top of a nearby pile. It's Atrasil. Atrasil is coming. Ruck dives behind the nearest rubble pile. Stand fast and be brave. Call Ruck a coward. Alright, I have plenty of guts, so I'll spend some. You draw yourself up and stand your ground. Ruck looks back and seems impressed. Thud, thud, thud. Ruck hisses and frantically motions for you to join them. Oh, I definitely don't have 15 guts. Duck behind the rubble pile. Ut. Great Elder. Ut lives to obey your every whim. His voice lacks the slightest hint of guts. Where are my monsterlings? At least 2 should have wriggled out of the vat by now. Just 1. Ut will catch it soon, promise. The safety of my monsterlings is important to me, more important than your role as collector. If you've eaten a single one of the allures I gave you, you won't like what happens. Ut squeaks and ducks back into the safety of his rubble pile. Gobbets of slime bounce and roll across the dusty ground. Gobbets, look at them, ooh! Ruck blinks and licks their chops, so hungry. Ruck starts to crawl out from behind the rubble, ignoring the Elder's presence. Your body trembles with fear of the looming presence. Ruck is almost out of reach. Pull Ruck back to safety. Ruck's body is surprisingly light and easy to drag. You might outweigh Ruck, despite their larger size. Some choices reduce a flaw by acting against its influence. Saving Ruck was a kind gesture and reduces your malice. Well, not very malicious. There are fewer lures here than I gave you, Ut. When I come back tomorrow, there had better be a monsterling waiting for me. Yes, Elder. Ut promises great Atrasil. Atrasil walks away in the direction she came from. Thud, thud, thud. You find yourself running the other direction. Elders are scary. Alright. Pipe Chunk. Let's go to Pipe Chunk. Help Ruck look for something. Look. I hope there's another new monsterling. Thanks for helping me look. Counting you, I've found 5. What happened to the other 4? I never found 2 at once. Ut had me teach them things and make sure they got enough to eat. They all left after a while. Ut says they're all living good lives now. I wish I could see them again, but I never have. You follow Ruck to a big rusty pipe. It has a homey smell. Ruck peers into the shadows under the pipe and shakes their head. No new monsterling here, but something good. 3 beetles emerge and try to scuttle away. Ruck grabs one beetle and munches on it joyfully. Another beetle runs away from Ruck, directly at you. Well, this, I could stand to gain some malice. Grab and devour the juicy treat. The juices are sour and bitter, just perfect for a monster's palate. 1 beetle is left. It runs back and forth between you and Ruck, unable to find an escape. You lick your chops at the sight, stomp on it. Splat, the last beetle is no more. Ah, that was good food. Ruck frowns at the bug juices soaking the dirt. You and Ruck continue your search for the new monsterling. You look in that pile of rocks, and I'll look behind this pile of bricks. You move past the piles and keep searching. You turn up some dead grass and broken stick, but no monsterlings. This is going bad. I'd rather be fighting. Growl at Ruck for wasting my time. I think this will reduce my, everything costs brains and I don't have very much left. Ruck grins at you and nods in acknowledgement. Ruck licks a cinder block, knocking it over, then limps for a moment. Ruck throws a small rock on a high arcing trajectory. You hear it bounce several times somewhere in the sharps. Ruck growls and stomps hard with every step as the search continues. Let Ruck keep acting out while I keep searching. You get to know the immediate area a little better. Some of the rocks are quite lovely. No, they're not. No, they're not. Ruck looks up at the ceiling of the great cavern, then throws another stone in the general direction of the big hill up to the north. Ruck flexes their claws and turns to face you. I have to let this out. I need a fight. Ruck lunges in your direction. Monsters often fight, though rarely to the death. Ruck just wants to tussle. Pay attention to what's happening in the fight, and you'll do fine. Interesting. Ruck ambles up and sloppily swipes a claw at you. Block the swipe and kick them. Ruck loses 2 health. Ruck staggers back from your solid blow. Ruck swings one foot at your stomach, a bit unsteady on the other foot. Knock their other foot out from under them. Ruck winces and falls over. Ruck makes a big show of catching their breath with huge gulps of air. It's a trick. Circle for an opening. You call Ruck's bluff and are able to tag them with a quick swipe. In a last hurrah, Ruck charges in with eyes closed, swinging both paws wildly. Trip them. You trip Ruck, who stumbles into the side of a metal pipe. Clang. Ruck lies on the ground, covered with sand and slime. Well done, you paid attention and beat me fair and square. I'm glad you're my friend. We can learn things from each other, about fighting and stuff. You hear a howl and some hooting from nearby. That rock came from this way. Gorogo? I'm sure of it. Someone yells. Laugh at that monster's pain. Someone is getting closer, but it's just one set of paws now, not 2. Just help me, I'm stuck on this blasted wire. Haha, more monsterlings for me then. It's too bad we didn't find the new monsterling. We probably can't beat 2 adolescents. We should get out of here. Ruck looks worriedly in the direction the yelling is coming from. Maybe we can find the monsterling tomorrow. I sure hope they don't. You and Ruck exit the area before the adolescents can find you. Well, we're reaching the half-an-hour point. This is very easily the kind of game I would love to do a series on, but I don't know how well it would perform. But let's keep going until maybe we can get to chapter 2. I don't know. Wander the area without Ruck. You meander between a pile of bricks and a stack of tires. Ahead, you hear Ut talking to someone. The other voice is unfamiliar. Peeking around the brick pile, you sight a shaggy adolescent 3 times your size. His fang-filled mouth drips with froth. Hide myself carefully. Sneak up closer, quietly. You lean around the pile of bricks and listen intently. A single broken brick comes loose and falls, rattling and banging to a stop nearby. What was that? Whatever it is, I'm going to eat it. They move in your direction, but you've chosen your spot carefully enough that they don't find you. They return to their conversation. They seem to be talking about how Sluggoth is feeding monsterlings to something. Monsterlings like you. Ut can feel it happening, Sluggoth. The change. I'll become an adolescent soon. Then I can join your gang. Ut can be a hammer. Sluggoth brushes his claws against the shaggy fur on his chest. I'm sure you'll be a strong and loyal helper, as long as you pay the application fee. That won't be a problem. I've kept Ruck weak with hunger. You can pluck that fool like a mushroom, a big, stupid mushroom. That mushroom shredded you like a plastic bag when it was just a newborn. As if by example, he swipes a stack of tires, tearing it to bits. A shred of ruined tire bounces next to you. You feel your fear rising up to new heights. Ignore the fear, keep quiet, and stay safe. The roaring in your ears subsides as you gain control of yourself. Because you controlled your fear, you are able to hear more. Herbs in Crumblestones are for me, not you. Just remember that, Ut. Ut would not even think of betraying your trust, Sluggoth. Ut is the most loyal and trustworthy of allies, and maybe friends? At best, you'll be an underling. Don't try to pull on airs. I just took in a new monsterling. The new one is even stupider than Ruck. Ut just called you stupid. Am I stupid? How can I really be sure? Your ambivalence provides you with no certain answer. Despite your self-control, your hackles rise as you feel a strong desire to pound Ut into a puddle of hair and slime. Give in to my rage and crush Ut like a beetle. You leap out and begin to unearth Ut. Sluggoth swipes at you, nearly tearing an arm off. Stand my ground. Sluggoth claps a paw against your head and bashes you against a rock shaped a little like a butt. Ow! Fight back. Sluggoth picks you up and shakes you hard. Try as you might, you can't break his grip. Bold. I bet you'll taste pretty good with hot blood like that. Sluggoth tosses you on top of the pile of bricks and turns to yell at Ut some more. Somehow you manage to remain conscious. You roll down off the bricks and out of Sluggoth's line of sight. You lurk in the shadows until you're sure Sluggoth is gone. Well, that didn't go well, but how could it really? See what is happening near the vat. You draw close to the vat. The wall seems lower now. You haul yourself up to the edge of the vat wall. The slime undulates in that old familiar way. The sound of the bubbles is soothing. Relax while the sound and sight of the liquid carries me away. You lose yourself for a time. Wow, you fell asleep and had a nice little nap. Your eyes are drawn back to the velvety green undulating slime until... There, the surface ripples, and again, rhythmically, almost like footsteps. Footsteps. A crude net swoops down, trapping you. There you are. Scream and cower beside the vat. Struggle. Might be my only use of guts left. Your struggles do you proud, but they do not get you out of the net. I knew I smelled someone listening to us earlier. Atrasil's footsteps are quite quiet squishes now, not a thud to be heard. There's someone in the net with you. It's Ruck, curled up in a ball, hungrier and weaker than ever. You feel every part of your body that can clench do so. Fear runs through every fiber of your being. Calm down and assess the situation. I don't have much left of resources. You inhale, then exhale, then inhale again. Looking calmly at the situation, you can see that the ropes making up the net are too thick for your claws to slice. But you also notice that Atrasil is being careful not to let you or Ruck smack into things as she carries the net. In fact, she's trying very hard not to hurt you at all. Atrasil stops at Ut's rubble pile. Ut! Ut speaks with a tremble in his voice. Great Elder, you said you'd return later than this. I smell Sluggoth's stench here. You can detect the smell too. Atrasil's net hangs just where Sluggoth was standing when you saw him here earlier. What have you two been up to? That lousy Ut, I hate him to pieces. Think about what Sluggoth was saying to Ut when you overheard him. Ut was dealing with Sluggoth and Atrasil, passing monsterlings to both of them. And he was going to give Ruck to Sluggoth. Nothing. I just hid from him until he left. Tell Atrasil about Ut's dealing with Sluggoth. Atrasil looks dubious. She thinks for a moment, then nods as she comes to a decision. That explains a great deal. Ut, I can smell something besides Sluggoth. It's you, Ut. You're about to transform. And there's nothing you can do about it. I'll stay in this massive pile of heavy things. With your slime gobbets, I can hide for days. Oh no, the double-dealing scum is going to get away with it. Doubt that Ut can pull off such a thing. You may only be a few days old, but you know overconfidence when you see it, or hear it, cowering unseen under a pile of rocks. Atrasil snorts, though it's more like a sigh. She reaches down and pulls one particular brick out from under the others. The chain reaction of falling rubble drops the entire pile upon Rut. Ut shrieks. Laugh at Ut. Yes, I've gained +1 malice, but Ut was such a twerp. Who do you think built these hiding spots, Ut? Now listen carefully, because if I have to repeat myself, well, you don't want me to repeat myself. If you ever lie to me again, I'm going to tear you in two. If you ever harm one of my monsterlings again, I'm going to tear you in two and squash both halves. And if I ever see you again, once you've grown into adolescence, you'll get what all ferals get. Atrasil picks up one of the larger rocks and crushes it to powder with one of her many paws. Cringe at the display of the elder's strength. That is my only choice. I have perhaps built a very weak monster. Atrasil slings the net over her back and walks away from Ut's collapsed hiding place. Ruck shivers, but doesn't say anything. Escape! No matter how you struggle, the net holds you tight. Atrasil gives the net a little shake, but ungently. Not ungently. Calmly. Newborn, you cannot escape. Save your strength for the days to come. In my coop, you'll be safe from the gangs and other dangers of the sharps. If you reach adolescence, I'll send you to the training facility. Eventually, you'll go on to the city as a proper, useful adult of Ash. Atrasil keeps walking. Her footsteps slowly change from soft squishes to loud thuds again. She begins to sing a wordless song. Soon you see a gate and a high wall. The coop awaits. Alright, chapter 2. I really like this game. I think it's really cool. I love the world building, and the characters are very well defined. And like building the monster doesn't feel like it's got kind of like that little the Disco Elysium thing going on, where like bad decisions, like there's not really any such thing as a bad decision. You still end up making interesting decisions, and things kind of roll forward. I don't know how long this game is. I'd be willing to do more if people are interested, but I really just want to give this game any kind of exposure, because I think it did quite poorly, and I'd like more people to know about it, because I don't think it found its audience personally. But I would like to play more of this. I'll probably end up playing more of this in my off time, but let me know in the comments. Maybe you'd like to see more. If you did enjoy this, go ahead and hit the like button and consider subscribing for more content like this, and I'll see you guys next time. Take it easy.